Hi everyone, it's me, Julie O'Connell. I'm coming on here. This is an important piece of the puzzle. Why ex-Scientologists hurt each other. Scientology, according to Rick Ross and many other cult experts, state that it takes 12 and a half years to peel the onion back from the cult of Scientology. Scientology is one of the most harmful cults to escape from and reprogram your brain from. And I know this to be true. My Aunt Gail Browning was a expert on right brain and left brain, and you can absolutely retrain your brain. When Natalie left the Church of Scientology, she had to reprogram her brain because she could barely even walk. She would get so many bad muscle spasms in her legs. The reason why I think ex-Scientologists hurt each other is because they have not gone through the proper treatment that they need, or when hurt people hurt, they do hurt each other. They might not necessarily have all the information. And I do know that there's gaslighting and manipulation behind the scenes. Scientology is the worst cult to escape from. It takes years to reprogram your brain. And not to mention, there is going to be infighting because not everyone agrees with everyone. And we don't always have to agree with everyone. Scientology has harmed children, and that's one thing that I am very big proponent about is, exposing the abuses of children. So, but the reason why I believe ex-Scientologists hurt each other is they might not have all the information. They might be getting information from an outside source, which might not be factual. It might not be the truth, and it might be construed in a way to make it look harmful to the other person. Scientologists and ex-Scientologists, in Scientology, they have a high snitch culture, and it's a proven fact. Leah Remini has talked about how when she left the wedding of the century, there was hundreds and hundreds of knowledge reports written about her. She even showed one from Katie Holmes. So within the Scientology, you have all this high pressure demand to perform at a higher level. And if you don't conform to the group, then you get punished. Punishment is held over every single Sea Org member's head, every public's head in Scientology. Sometimes, people can move on and work professionally together and do the right thing and move on and support one another in the fight against Scientology. I believe it is our mission to help others and expose the abuses of Scientology. There are people out there being gaslit and manipulated to think that their thoughts and feelings aren't valid. Their thoughts and feelings are very valid because what is true for them is true for them. And in the ex-Scientology world, there will be divisions and there will be factions. However, when they get to a point where it's toxic, that's when you have to kind of shut your brain off to not think about that type stuff. There is one content creator that has created some toxic, vile content. I'm not going to lie. You know who she is. She's Nora. And I don't support that because I am a kind and caring human being. But when hurt people hurt, they tend to hurt each other. They tend to stab each other in the back. They tend to lie about one another. I never gave super chats. I mean, I never I'm going to keep my situation out. But you could see how information gets twisted and facts being omitted can harm others. Bullying another human being is not anything I'm about. I happened to stumble upon Save the Fox website. When you bully others to the point where they want to leave YouTube space, then that is harmful. And that has happened on multiple occasions in the anti-Scientology world. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't like naming names on my channel because I'm not about drama. But in the ex-Scientology world, it takes years to deprogram your brain. And sometimes people are further on their therapy journey. They're further down their recovery space. Sometimes it takes people a little bit more to recover and take time to do the things that help them, use tools that help them leave the Church of Scientology. And there is a full circle. We saw it with Mike Rinder. I feel so bad for this man because it pained him to know that he left 2 children in the Sea Org in Scientology. Scientology holds disconnection over every ex-Scientologist, and it is a mandatory practice. So sometimes the facts aren't correct when an ex-Scientologist is speaking about another ex-Scientologist. We've seen it in real time on several channels. We've seen hurt people hurt each other. And when people are hurting, they necessarily aren't working on their recovery journey. They're just focusing on what hurts them at the time. Scientology has harmed children. They cover up SA children. Even in Delaware, there was a gentleman that was just discovered to have 25 felony counts of child pornography. 25 felonies, and he was an oncologist. So, what do I mean about ex-Scientologists always fighting? There's gonna be fights, and we can move on from that. We don't need to destroy any movement. We don't need to destroy people's good work or manipulate people behind the scenes to think, oh, they're not doing any good work in the anti-Scientology movement. Scientology is the enemy, and I'm going to continue to speak my truth because I'm going to talk about this. When hurt people hurt, they do things to manipulate the scenes. They do things to hurt each other. They do things that they might not necessarily want to do. And it might not be necessarily correct at the time to do it. Someone stated lately that I try to kill channels. No, I do not. This is furthest from the truth. I have never tried to kill anyone's channel. And I don't censor people in what they think and feel. However, I have seen it in the anti-Scientology movement where channels have been shut down because they don't feel it's safe to participate anymore. Like what happened with Poe on the Go and my lawyer friend Zach. My lawyer friend Zach is back, but he does Lego builds. It has nothing to do with this anti-Scientology work. Scientologists do hurt because they've been hurt themselves within their lifetime multiple times. Ex-Scientologists hurt because they've been told their thoughts and feelings aren't valid. And children in Scientology are considered big beings in little bodies. This is a harmful practice. This is why so many ex-Scientologists have left with their children out of Scientology. When you hurt another human being, it's basically stabbing them in the heart. So when a woman to woman says they get emotional and you denounce that is the real reason, shame on you. I am an emotional being and I am an empath and I take a lot of stuff in. And you can ask my mom this. I take on the pain of the world when things happen. Like what happened in Texas when we had that major flood. I could hear those children screaming for help. So do not lump me in with drama channels, because I am not a drama channel, but I'm explaining why hurt people do things behind the scenes to hurt one another. Scientology is the worst cult to escape from. It does take 12 and a half years, and sometimes people need more therapy than others in their healing journey. Therapy does help. However, in my case, Zoloft did not work for me because Zoloft made me physically ill. I had to wean myself off of it. It would make my stomach so sick. Later down in life, it was discovered I had a peptic ulcer. And if anyone knows what a peptic ulcer is, it can be painful. I mean, I try not to I avoid spicy stuff. I try not to drink too much soda, but lately, that's all I've been wanting. Because sometimes my body does crave sugar. So, and that's another thing. If you have an autoimmune disease, sometimes sugar can be bad for you. In Natalie's case, her autoimmune disease plus her sugar intake worsened her symptoms. So you can retrain your brain. My aunt was an expert in right brain and left brain. You can absolutely program your brain to help you move forward, do the things that you love. You don't necessarily have to fight the Church of Scientology. We can just come together to have a common goal, to try to take Scientology's tax-exempt status away, or to end the Church of Scientology. I was so happy to hear that the Save the Garden movement got 7,100 signatures for their petition yesterday. I watched their stream. It was a very lovely stream. Scientology is winning in Clearwater, Florida. This is why it's important to get out there, the abuses of Scientology. I'm going to continue to speak my truth, always. And this is why I think hurt people hurt each other. They don't want to admit that they're wrong. They don't want to admit when they've done something wrong. They don't want to admit, oh, I might have hurt her. They make you think your thoughts and feelings aren't valid. However, your thoughts and feelings are valid. And if you do need help escaping the Church of Scientology, the sptvfoundation.org can help you leave. So can the Mike Rinder Aftermath Foundation. The Mike Rinder Aftermath Foundation is a nonprofit to help with Sea Org members leaving the Church of Scientology. Jenna has moved on and done professional work protesting the Church of Scientology. Mark Bunker has exposed a lot of abuses in within the Church of Scientology. He was on the Lisa McPherson Trust for many, many years. Scientology should be our enemy, and it should be our common goal. We shouldn't be stabbing one another in the back. We shouldn't be manipulating things behind the scenes. We should not be harming one another. However, there's many in this space that have done that. Scientology as a whole is bad. The manipulation practices within the Church of Scientology are bad. They manipulate their members to think that they have to do what's good for the group. And I don't support that. I mean, no, you don't. You can leave the Church of Scientology anytime you want. You can remain silent about Scientology if you do want to leave. That is your choice. That is up to you. And this is why I'm talking about this. Hurt people hurt each other because they've been hurt in their past too as well. Sometimes people don't get the time to take to know somebody. And then they question what they are doing. In my case, this person did not take the time to get to know me. And it really hurts because I really valued her friendship, regardless of what she may think. So, when hurt people hurt, they do stab each other in the back. And it's a form of manipulation. It's like digging the knife deeper every time somebody opens their mouth. I've seen it in the groups. I saw it when Pearl Snappy was protesting. I saw her tactics really amping up and yelling at cult members, calling them coffin dodgers and other things. This is totally disrespectful. I mean, I'm sorry, they are not. And to yell at a Sea Org member eating her lunch, I would never yell at a Sea Org member or a cult member to tell them to get back in their cult. When you gaslight and manipulate a person behind the scenes, you're basically telling people we are in a cult, that our thoughts and feelings aren't valid. However, we are not in a cult. Scientology is the enemy, and I'm going to continue to fight every single day, the Church of Scientology. I just wanted to come on here and tell you my thoughts about why ex-Scientologists try to hurt each other. And why there is so much division in our country. I'm not answering that. That looks like a spam call. If I don't know them, I don't answer the phone. But Scientology is the enemy. This is what we should be focusing on and just doing everything in our power to support one another. Lift each other up. Do not slam somebody down. I saw that this week, and it really was disgusting. When you have 6 people on one person, that is not a safe chat. That is not a safe moderatorship. I would never do that to anyone in my Facebook groups or online. So I really hope this can help people to get an understanding of why people hurt each other. There is manipulation and gaslighting behind the scenes in the anti-Scientology world. I'm not mentioning names, but I've seen it. And I've seen a lot of toxic groups become infiltrate the anti-Scientology movement. DOA is a professional protester. He gets paid to go protest. And we all warned the community about him before he even came onto the scene. And look what it's done. It's laid in wake the protest movement to try to shut down Scientology. So that's what I have for you tonight. I really hope people can just come together and be professional and just fight the Church of Scientology. Because at the rate that we're going, Scientology will never be shut down. Their tax-exempt status will never be taken away. And yes, I've done emails behind the scenes too as well. So thank you and have a great day. Take time for your family and friends. If somebody is hurting you, just leave that abuse. Don't allow them to control you. Thank you. I am getting my power back, and I am going to speak on what I've seen. Thank you and have a great day. And I'm going to do it in a tasteful manner. Thank you and have a great day. Take time for your family and friends. Do the things you love. Thank you. Have a great day.